Howdy, my name is John, and this video is a series review and a why you should read the Apprentice Adept series by Piers Anthony. The Apprentice Adept series was originally a trilogy consisting of the following three books: Split Infinity, Blue Adept, and Juxtaposition. The first three books in the series are some of Anthony's finest works. These three books are one continuous story, and I do highly recommend reading them in order. In the first book, we are introduced to Style, a man who is 35 years old and living on the planet Proton. He is what the book calls a serf. Basically, the serfs are slaves to the citizens. The biggest difference being that all serfs serve a 20-year term, and at the end of the term, they are expelled from the planet, but they receive a nice payday. Early in the first book, someone makes an attempt on Style's life. While Style is fleeing those who seek to kill him, he discovers a portal to another world. This alternate frame is called Phase, and magic works there. Style learns quickly that he is able to perform powerful magic, and the books follow him as he tries to discover who is behind his attempted murder. One of the main features of these three novels is the games that are available for the serfs to play on Proton. Each year a tournament is held, and the winner of that tournament is granted citizen status. These games are all very well written. One in particular in the second book stands out. This is a musical competition. I really wish I could hear this musical competition because Anthony does a really great job bringing this to life using just words. This really is one of my favorite scenes of any novel that I've ever read. That scene is why the second book is my favorite in this series. I gave it 5 stars. I also gave the first book in the series 5 stars. Anthony does a really great job setting up the story, and it's enjoyable to switch between the magic world and the science fiction world, and how the little details that separate the two phases. I also really enjoyed the third book in this series. I did downgrade it to 4 stars because I did find the ending a little bit unsatisfying. The final solution does not quite work for me. A few years after the trilogy was written, Anthony expanded the series to 7 total books. The 4th book in the series is Out of Phase. The 5th book is Robot Adept. The 4th book takes place 20 years after the events of the 3rd book, and it mostly centers around the children of the characters of the first 3 books. 2 books are actually my least favorite of the series. I gave Out of Phase 4 stars, but very nearly downgraded it to 3. And then I did give Robot Adept 3 stars. My biggest complaint about these 2 books are how poorly written the female characters are in these books. The first 3 books had some really interesting, subtle commentary on male-female relationships. Unfortunately, in these 2 books, the female characters are just not very well written. They are far too idealized in these 2 books. What these 2 books do well, in addition to the games, is the question of ethics that comes up. The 2 main characters in these novels must struggle with the question of what they are willing to do in order to get what they want. The last 2 books in the series are Unicorn Point and Phased Out. My biggest complaint about these 2 novels is the age of 2 of the main characters. These characters age from about 4 to 9 over the course of these 2 novels. In my opinion, the responsibility that are given to these 2 children are really beyond what children that age are capable of. really wish Anthony would have aged these children about 10 years, and then the action of the novels would have made a lot more sense. That said, these novels are both enjoyable reads. Anthony continues to do a strong job writing the games. Anthony makes use of a full cast of characters in these books. He's not just relying on the two children. Each chapter in Unicorn Point is actually a different point of view character, and there's 18 chapters in total. Phased Out also has many point of view characters, and these two novels work very well to conclude the series. I gave both of these novels 4 stars. In conclusion, if you're new to Anthony or you're looking to expand your reading of him, I would highly recommend that you read the first 3 books of the Apprentice Adept series. These 7 novels were written in the mid-80s to the early 90s, and I'm really glad that I picked these up again and reread them. If you're someone who doesn't either read a lot of fantasy or a lot of science fiction, but you're familiar with the other, these novels would be a great introduction to the genre that you're not used to. If you're only familiar with Anthony's Xanth series, these novels do not have the comic spin that the Xanth series have. These are fairly straightforward action-adventure stories. If you're interested in giving Anthony a try, this series would be a good place to start. The first 3 books are still in print. However, the last 4 books are not. You'll have to find used copies of those, although I believe you can get them on either audiobook or e-reader. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.